Well, I must say, you're all great company. It's been a sparkling evening.
Well, time I turned in.
Good night, Christopher, darling. Wake up in a better temper.
I only wish I could tuck into my little cot. I have some business in town yet. Good night, Emma.
Good night, Philippe. Give her my love.
Oh? Who must I give your love?
The little dark girl.
Oh, I only wish it were. No, I said work.
What a gruesome evening. Your behavior was uncivilized. All of you. You coming?
Not just yet. I'll be up in a minute.
Sorry.
Mrs. Stanway? Good evening. I'm John Drake.
Well, come in, Mr. Drake.
Oh.
That man from the Municipal, I could kill him with my bare hands. Twice this week I drag myself to Cascais. Twice he smiles and says, "Si, senora, I will fix it." Fix it. You're English.
Yes, sir. I'm a friend of Arthur Harrison's.
Arthur? I thought he was in South Africa.
He was. There was a slight misunderstanding about the rightful ownership of some diamonds. Had to leave rather suddenly. I met him in Biarritz. He's got a small gambling syndicate there.
Dear Arthur. He and George were in the Navy together. George is my husband. Well, what can I do for you? Don't tell me. If ever you're in Lisbon, go and see Emma. She'll give you a bed.
Yes. Well, there's unfortunately a slight snag.
But you wouldn't be a friend of Arthur's if there wasn't.
Yes, a little trouble concerning a cheque I cashed in England. I mean, nothing, of course, that I can't put right as soon as I'm in funds again, you understand.
Don't talk to me about cheques.
Well, I got as far as Biarritz, and then I understand there might be some trouble about crossing the frontier. So a friend of Arthur's who was taking a yacht to Tangier dropped me on the beach just above Cascais?
Cascais.
Cascais, yes.
So you entered Portugal illegally?
Yes, I'm afraid I did, yeah.
I see. So you crossed France all right?
Oh, yes, but they stamped my passport perfectly in order, as you better say.
So you need... How do I know you're not other than you say you are?
Ah, well, you see, Arthur said to say to you, large white, sir.
Yes, that's Arthur.
Yes.
Well, I knew you were all right as soon as you came in. What star are you?
Sagittarius, sir.
I knew it. So am I. Let's get to work.
And Arthur tells me you run a sort of boarding house here.
Oh, I don't do too badly in the season, you know. Could you, shut the window, please?
Yes.
If I can have your passport, please. So you entered Calais on the 23rd. That's all right. So we'll say you left France on the 29th. You're in Spain the same night. Now you're leaving Spain. On your way to sunny Portugal, where you arrive on the 30th. Not forgetting, of course, that you're only allowed 60 days in our fair country.
I'm most impressed.
Would you please open the window? Colonel Torres. What a pleasant surprise.
I do hope I'm not intruding, Mrs. Stanway. I rang the bell, but there was no answer.
It doesn't seem to be working too often lately. I was just looking through some of George's things to see if there was some clue to his disappearance. Company stamps from a company he used to own. Colonel Torres, this is John Drake. The Colonel is a very important man in our police force here.
Wait, how do you do, Colonel?
Mr. Drake, you are living in Portugal?
I arrived this morning.
Then I hope your stay will be a pleasant one.
Thank you very much.
Mrs. Stanway, you have made me very happy this evening.
Well, I'm always happy to do that. What is it?
Some of the alegria spiritual gaiety has returned to your face. Yes, a little, I think. You were very beautiful when you were most sad. But the sadness and the gaiety, that is irresistible.
You should come more often. You do wonders for my morale.
But I bring bad news.
Oh, dear.
Oh, yeah, excuse me.
Don't go. Please stay. What is it?
I'm sorry to have to tell you that the man in the hospital in Naples was not your husband. We received the pictures and description this morning.
I guess that it wasn't.
But you hoped it was.
Well, thank you for letting me know so soon. Shall we all have a drink?
When one is most worried and unhappy, a little distraction is sometimes a very good thing. I would consider it a great honor if you would allow me to entertain you one evening. Vittoria de Los Angeles is singing at the opera and...
That's a nice idea, but not just yet. You do understand, don't you?
Oh, yes, of course.
Here's to your stay in Lisbon, John Drake.
Oh, it's very kind of you. Thank you.
How long will you be staying in Portugal, Mr. Drake?
I haven't made up my mind yet.
You have business here?
Not exactly. I'm a writer.
What kind of books you write?
To tell you the truth, I haven't had a great deal of success so far.
What are you writing now?
A novel.
Mr. Drake, you do understand that you must call at police headquarters if you intend to stay here.
Yes, I'll remember that.
However, I can save you the trouble. If you would just allow me to see your passport, a visit to headquarters will not be necessary.
Hello. What are you doing here?
Why did you lie to me?
What do you mean?
Why?
John, I don't know what you're talking about.
When I had my little talk with Philippe last night, I was given to understand that this was a straightforward smuggling organization.
I'm still worried about the drugs. I promise
No,
you
not
there's...
drugs. Not since I saw this.
How did you get that?
Out of your safe.
How did you open it?
I watched you yesterday. Industrial diamonds. you told me the truth, I wouldn't have agreed to help. What is it, a fuse, a piece of a computer? Whatever it is, it's tied up with espionage, and I'm not in that league. I'm getting out.
Why did you have to open the safe? You've put me into the most impossible position. And there's only one thing I can do, to confide in you. It has nothing to do with smuggling. That was just a cover.
So you are spies?
In a way, yes. We're working for British intelligence. So you see, you have nothing to be ashamed of.
You expect me to believe that?
It's true.
What happened to your husband? I'm sorry. I'm just trying to understand.
He's dead. They killed him.
Who?
The opposition. I knew he was smuggling. It wasn't much of a way of life. And he was in trouble with the police. But he had this nice house. And that's when I started taking in lodgers. I thought with a bit of security behind him, he might give it up. And then 2 weeks ago, we'd all gone up to bed. And he stayed down here. He seemed depressed. And he said, I'll come up in a minute or two. But he didn't. And when I came down, I found him lying out there in the patio. He'd been shot. And he was dead.
And your husband was a British agent, too? When did you discover that?
Not until after his death.
How?
Christopher and Philippe told me. They had to. I might have given the whole thing away.
And then?
We buried him. In the woods.
And furthermore, I cannot be held responsible for the outcome of operations when visiting agents are not placed under my...
Huh? Not drugs.
Oh, our smuggler has a conscience.
About drugs, yes.
Why not tell him?
All right.
Industrial diamonds.
Diamonds? Well, I'll have to give up writing for some time now. I've suspected I didn't have very much talent, and it's a lonely life, isn't it?
All the same, you will continue to write.
Huh?
Being a writer, even an unsuccessful one, is an excellent cover for your new activities.
Yes, you'll fit very nicely into our little colony. No one in Lisbon will be surprised when that dreadful Mrs. Stanway takes in a drunken writer.
I'm not sure my family would approve of this.